Hello everyone, and welcome to CF Yogi. My name is Heather Brown, and I will be teaching class today. If you know you have some balance issues, make sure that you're either close to a wall or maybe grab a chair to have nearby in case you need it. Today's class is going to be focusing on some twists. So you want to make sure you have that support there just in case. So take a second to grab that, and then when you're ready, just go ahead and find a comfortable seated position. Maybe the legs stretched out, maybe the legs folded underneath you, whatever's comfortable for your body. And just start to settle in. Start to feel your sits bones against the floor. And start to feel the top of your head starting to lengthen toward the ceiling. And then feel your breath. Noticing where your inhale and your exhale fall in your body. Maybe it's a little bit higher in the chest, or maybe it's already down into the ribs or even into the belly. Just noticing where that space is, where that movement is naturally happening. And allowing yourself to just be aware, not judging, not changing anything, just feeling. And as we start to focus in on the body, just take a second to notice what thoughts are coming into your mind. And just allow them to be, and then allow them to leave. Allow the focus to gradually come back to your breath and to your body. And also remind yourself as we eventually start to come into movement that this practice is really for you. So I'm going to try to offer a lot of different options, but if there's something that's not serving you, don't do it. Find something that works for you in your body, or maybe pause into that comfortable place. Maybe it's child's pose, maybe it's something else. Give yourself that permission, give yourself that space to do what you need in class today. And from here, feeling the breath. Maybe start to elongate that inhale and the exhale. Breathing at your own pace, whatever's comfortable. But noticing if elongating that breath moves it into other places in the body. Notice where you feel that space. Maybe also noticing any changes to the mind or the body. Maybe one more deep breath. And then allow your breath to come back to that natural place, that natural rhythm. And once again, just feel. Noticing any space. Maybe noticing any place in your body that might need extra attention today. And just allowing the breath to flow to that place. When you're ready, slowly allow the right ear to drop over toward the right shoulder. And then let the head drop forward and slowly over to the other side. Maybe connecting with the breath, moving back and forth, forward again, over to the first side. And just continuing that movement at your own pace. And you can choose to connect with the breath. Or maybe you're just letting that natural breathing rhythm happen and the movement happen at its own pace. Maybe one more cycle. And then when you're ready, coming through the center, slowly lifting the head back up to that neutral place. Just feel your body, feel your breath, and notice any sensations. Feeling any space you've started to create. And when you're ready for your next inhale, reach the arms out to the sides and all the way up to the sky, maybe lifting the chest. And exhale, opening the arms back down to the floor, curving the spine forward. Moving at your own pace, finding that inhale, lifting the chest. And exhale, curving. And wherever you are, just finding some connection with the breath, whether it's slowed down, or maybe it needs to be a little bit faster. That's okay. Let it be wherever it is. We're just feeling some connection. Maybe one more cycle. And then the next time your arms reach all the way up to the sky, just pause for a second. And then when you exhale, reach the right hand down toward the floor, the left fingertips up to the sky, and then maybe over to the side just a little bit. And then inhaling back up through the center, both arms reaching up. And exhaling the left hand down, right fingertips reach up and over. And continue that movement at your own pace. Once again, finding that connection between the breath, whatever it might be, between the breath and the movement. After a few times back and forth, if it feels good for you to pause on one side, definitely take that. Maybe feeling the length of the sits bone into the floor, opposing that reaching arm. Wherever you are, feel those sensations through the body and honor them. Maybe one more time on each side. And then the next time you come through the center with that inhale, pause once again. And this time, exhale coming into a twist, the left hand coming toward the right knee, the right hand coming behind you, maybe onto the floor. If you do have a block, you can definitely put the block behind you. Just feeling that length in the torso. And then with the next inhale, coming back up through the center, reaching both arms up. And exhale coming in. Movement. Once again, connecting with the breath. Inhaling through the center. Exhaling into. Once again, after you've done If it feels good for you to pause in that twist, go ahead and take it. Finding that length from the sits bones, twisting all the way through the spine and through the top of the head. Maybe one more time on each side. And then when you come back through the center, once again, reaching the arms up. This time, exhale the hands back to your neutral position and just feel. Feel any sensations in the body, any change to the breath. Just noticing where you are. Maybe noticing the parts of your body that we haven't started moving through yet. From here, we're going to shift into a hands and knees position. So whatever movement you need, go ahead and take it. And as you start to find this tabletop position, you want to really feel the hands directly underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath each hip. And then slowly bring the shoulders down and back and feel the length between the tailbone and the top of the head, so you're really nice and long. Then when you're ready, take a nice inhale and exhale, curving the spine toward the ceiling. Inhale through that neutral center position, and then letting the belly drop to the floor. Through the center, and exhale. Moving at your own pace, and definitely playing with the breath. This is one of those movements that a different breath, a different breathing pattern works for everyone. So go ahead and take what feels good in your body to allow you to really find that movement. Maybe one more cycle. And then slowly coming back to that neutral spine. Let the hips sink back and come into whatever your child's pose looks like. Maybe the head is toward the floor. Maybe it's coming onto a block. Or maybe if you need to stay a little bit more upright, you can bring your hands onto that chair. Find a place where you can feel the length through the spine and kind of allow the shoulders and the neck to release. And then breathe. Giving yourself some space. When you're ready, we're going to lift the hips and come back into that tabletop position. So make any adjustments you need to. Reestablish that shoulders down and back so the spine is nice and long to start with. And really pressing those palms all the way from the shoulders down into the hands and into the floor. When you're ready for that next inhale, reach the right leg all the way to the back. And just for a second, find some length from the heel of the foot all the way through the body to the top of the head. Maybe take a breath. And then inhaling once again from here. As you exhale, bring the knee into the belly, open to that right shoulder, and then inhale, reach it long. Moving at your own pace. Exhale. And inhale. Whatever your connection to the breath needs to be, go ahead and take it. Just moving that leg and feeling that connection in a way that serves your body. Maybe one more circle. And then pausing with that leg long, reestablish that length from the heel of the foot all the way to the top of the head. And then we're just going to reverse the direction of the circle. So with that inhale, exhale as the knee comes into the shoulder, into the belly, and then inhale, reaching it long. Exhale, shoulder, belly, inhale, reach it long. And just a few more at your own pace. Continuing to feel that connection with the breath. Maybe one more circle. And then from that long position, let the knee come back down to the floor. Let the hips sink back and find whatever your child's pose looks like today. Allowing the head to release, the spine to lengthen. Allowing that lower back to relax. And just notice any difference in sensation between one side of your body and the other. And feel the breath. And when you're ready, lifting back up into that tabletop position, adjusting how you need to. We're just going to do that same sequence on the other side. So feel that length in the spine, the shoulders down and back, really pressing into the floor, finding that space. And then when you're ready, lengthening that left leg out. Just taking a few breaths here, feeling that length between the heel of the foot all the way through the body to the top of the head. When you're ready for that inhale, take a nice big breath. Exhale, the knee comes into the belly. Inhale, opening to the shoulder and lengthening. Exhale into the belly, open to the shoulder, and inhale to lengthen. Moving at your own pace. Just feeling all of that space, all of that movement through the left hip, and maybe feeling that groundedness through the right side of the body. One more circle. And then from here, pause in that lengthened position. We're just going to reverse the circle. When you're ready, take that inhale. Exhale into the shoulder, the belly, and then inhale to lengthen. Exhale into the shoulder, the belly, and inhale to lengthen, moving at your own pace. And once again, if a different breath serves your body better, definitely take it. Allow yourself to make those choices in your practice. One more. And then when you're ready, let that knee come back down to the floor, lower the hips, and find whatever your child's pose looks like. Feeling that release, that space, lengthen the back and the shoulders. Feeling the breath. And when you're ready, lifting the hips once again, coming into that tabletop position. From here, we're going to slowly make our way to standing. So if there's another way that you need to do that, go ahead and take it. But I'm going to cue through a down dog position. So place the hands really firmly on the floor, tuck the toes underneath, and just start to lift the hips up toward the ceiling. Knees can stay really bent, or maybe they lengthen if that feels good for you, but they can definitely stay really bent, feeling the shoulders nice and down. Release the neck a little bit, and then slowly walk the feet up toward the hands. Maybe folding forward, feeling the breath, taking opposite elbow in hand, allowing the neck to really release. Feeling the back stretching out a little bit. And when you're ready, really pressing into the spine as the arms come out to the sides. Slowly bringing the torso all the way back up, bringing the arms all the way up, finding that inhale, and exhale. So just take a second to feel your body, feel your breath. Notice all of those changes that your body automatically makes when adjusting from a seated position to a standing one. And just allow your body to make them. And when you're ready, from here, we're going to take a step forward, so we're toward the front of the mat, so that there's room behind to take a step back. And go ahead and just place the feet directly underneath the hips, and the hands can come to the hips for now. And just start to feel your soles of your feet against the floor, and start to play with shifting your weight forward and back and side to side. And just notice how that feels against the floor. Maybe noticing the pattern on the soles of your feet. Or maybe noticing what muscles in the rest of your body start to kick in to prevent you from falling over. And then slowly start to find that place where your weight is evenly pressing against the ball of your foot and the heel of your foot. So it might be different than you're used to standing. So really pay attention to just where your weight is falling. And then from the soles of your feet, feel all of that energy shooting into the floor, really grounding you. And let that float back up through the legs, starting to find some length all the way into the hips, starting to lengthen the tailbone down toward the floor and the top of the head lifting up toward the ceiling. So you're really creating space. Feel the shoulders down and back, really pressing the shoulders down. So you're really using those muscles. If it helps you to feel that by reaching the arms down, you can definitely take that. And just feel the breath. Notice it if it's in a different place. Maybe bringing the hands back to the hips if you did elongate them. Start to shift the weight over to the left foot until the right toes start to peel off the floor. And when they come all the way off, take that giant step toward the back of the mat, bending into that front knee, but keeping the knee right over the ankle and keeping the hips really square so that back heel is going to be raised most likely. And just breathe. Feel that connection to the floor. And then once again, feel that spine really long. Shoulders down and back. And you can stay right here or maybe reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Feeling that energy through the fingertips and feeling the breath. And there's one more part to this pose. So once again, you have the option of staying right where you are, or maybe start to find a twist. So that right arm is reaching forward and the left arm back, but you want to see if that twist can be happening through the torso. So you want to try to avoid just the arm going back. And if that means that you're not all the way twisted, that's fine. But wherever you are, feel the length and feel the breath through the body. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, reach the arms all the way back up to the center. And just take one breath in this squared off pose. And then when you're ready for that inhale, take a nice breath in. As you exhale, the hands come to the hips, lean forward, take the giant step to the front of the mat. Inhale the arms out to the sides and all the way up. Exhale the hands. And just feel your body, feel your breath. Notice any difference in sensation from one side of your body to the other. Feel all of that space you're starting to create in your body. And when you're ready, the hands are going to come back to the hips once again. If you need to make any adjustments to the feet, go ahead and do that. But once again, start to play with shifting the weight forward and back and side to side. And just sort of massaging the feet against the floor. And then also maybe noticing those muscles that kick in to keep you in that upright position. And feeling the breath, noticing if as you're moving, you're starting to hold your breath. And see if you can release that. See if you can allow your normal, your natural inhale and exhale to happen as you're moving. And then slowly finding that place once again where your weight is evenly pressing through the ball of your foot and the heels. And allow that energy to flow into the earth, really creating that grounding. And then it also flows from the earth back into your body, creating that length, finding that space through the legs into the hips, lengthening the tailbone down and the top of the head starting to lift and reach up to the sky. Feeling the shoulders down and back, maybe the hands reaching to the sides and down toward the floor. And feeling the breath. Allowing the breath to be wherever it is in this moment. But feeling all of that energy through the body. And when you're ready, maybe bringing the hands back to the hips, starting to shift the weight over to the right foot until the left toes can start to come off the floor. And when they do, taking that giant step toward the back of the mat, coming into Warrior One, keeping that heel of the back lifted, unless you're super flexible and the heel presses the floor while the hips are staying square, and keeping that right knee right over the ankle, continuing to find that length, that groundedness through the feet, but also length through the spine and the breath. And you can stay right here, or maybe reaching the arms all the way up to the sky, feeling the shoulders down at the same time. That opposition, shoulders down, fingers reaching up. And breathe. Once again, the option is to stay right here. But if you're going for the twist, start to reach those left fingertips forward and the right fingertips back. Really feeling that twist along the spine. The top of the head still reaching toward the ceiling. And the hips staying really square. Breathe. Feel all of that space. One more breath. And when you're ready, reach those fingertips long to come back up to the center, squaring off the torso. One breath here. And then take a nice big inhale. Exhale, hands come to the hips, lean forward, take that giant step to the front of the mat. Inhale the arms out and all the way up. Exhale the hands to the heart. Feel the body, feel the breath. Feel all of that energy, all the sensations through the body. Allowing yourself that space to just be in this moment. When you're ready, the hands come back to the hips, adjusting your stance if you need to. We're really feeling that grounding sensation into the floor through the soles of the feet and all that lengthening through the body, along the spine, through the top of the head, opening the shoulders, pressing them down, and feeling the breath. When you're ready, shifting the weight over to the left foot until the right toes come off the floor. And this time when you take that step back, ground through the heel and open the body so you're facing the long side of your mat, keeping that front knee right over the ankle. So your torso is really facing sideways. So now my back is to you. And you can stay right here with the arms, or maybe they start to reach out to the side. So technically it's front and back, but because your torso is facing that long edge of the mat, your arms really should be beside you. So if your torso isn't completely facing that side, it's okay to be a little bit here. What you want to try to avoid is being here with that back shoulder twisted underneath. So really find that space so you can create that length from the middle of your body, the spine, all the way out through the fingertips. One more breath here. And from here, we're going to start to lengthen those left fingertips and start to reach all the way up to the sky. So you're really creating space from that front hip all the way through the fingertips. And just breathe. You want to try to avoid putting any weight on that back arm. It's just kind of there against the back leg to help keep your balance. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, use the length of those left fingertips to pull you back into that warrior two shape. And then when you're ready for that next inhale, take a nice big breath in. Exhale, the hands to the hips, lean forward, take that giant step to the front of the mat. Inhale, the arms out and all the way up to the sky. Exhale, the hands to the heart. Just feel the body, feel the breath. Notice any difference in sensation between one side of your body and the other. Feeling all of that space. And when you're ready, the hands come back to the hips again, adjusting if you need to. Feeling that grounding energy through the soles of the feet, lengthening through the legs. Feeling the spine long, shoulders down and back. And breathe. When you're ready, shift the weight over to the right foot until the left toes can start to peel off the floor. And then taking that giant step back, grounding into the heel and opening the hips and the torso to the side. Feeling that right knee right over the ankle. Continue to feel that grounding through the legs, the lengthening of the spine, maybe reaching the arms out to the sides. Once again, trying to feel that torso as square as it can be, but facing the long side of the mat. The head can be either over that front arm or to the side, whatever feels better for you. And breathe. Feeling all of that space. From here, when you're ready, reach those right fingertips long to really tip the torso up and back as your fingertips start to reach for the ceiling, really creating that space between the right hip and the fingertips. And breath. Make sure you're not placing any weight on that back arm. You're really creating the space in your body, using that strength. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, reach those fingertips longer to help pull the torso back up to that warrior two shape. Taking one breath. And then when you're ready for that nice big inhale, inhale all the way. Exhale, the hands to the hearts. Step forward, hands to the hips. All the way up. Inhale, exhale. Feel your body, feel your breath. Feel all of that space, all of that energy. Allowing that inhale and exhale to happen and really just feeling sensations. From here, we're going to take a second to adjust. If you have blocks, you can go ahead and grab them. This is when a chair might be really useful. We're just going to place them on the long side of the mat and start to find this sort of widened position. So the toes are still facing forward, but you're facing the long edge of your mat. Hands can come to the hips again. And just start to once again feel your weight against the floor on the soles of your feet. Find that middle position. Feel the length through the legs into the hips and along the spine. And make sure you're finding a place with your legs where your knees aren't locked behind you. It might feel a little bit bent, but you want to feel that energy. And then breathe. Feeling all of that space and really connecting with the body. And from here, we're going to start to fold forward, but you want to think about really lengthening the spine and really folding from the hips so the spine stays nice and long. Slowly moving forward and maybe eventually reaching the hands down to whatever support you have in front of you. And really pressing into the palms and once again taking advantage that you have something to lean on and finding that space through the spine so the back is nice and long. And feel the breath. Notice any change in sensations through the body. And at this point, we're going to be coming into a twist, but you definitely have the option to stay right here if this is a more comfortable place. But if you're with me, go ahead and shift that left arm so it's a little bit more toward the center of your body. And then slowly lengthening the hips so that they stay nice and square. Start to reach that right arm up to the sky. So what you want to try to avoid is letting the hips shift to one side or the other. You want to try to keep them really square so it's the torso that's twisting. And then breathe. One more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly bringing that right hand back down to whatever your support is. Evening the arms out and just pausing in the center to reestablish that space, that length. Maybe noticing any sensations or if one side feels different than the other. Reestablishing that space. And then when you're ready, we're just coming into that same twist on the other side. So shifting that right hand so that it's a little bit more centered. And then starting to lift the left arm up toward the sky, coming into that twist. Keeping the hips nice and square, facing the floor. Feeling that breath. Feeling that length from the tailbone all the way through the top of the head. One more breath. And then lowering that hand back down to your support, squaring off once again, and just feeling your body, feeling that length, feeling that space. And then when you're ready, shifting the weight so it's over your feet, maybe even bending in the knees, and gradually bring the hands back to the hips as you start to lengthen the spine and bring the torso all the way back up to standing. Maybe scooting the feet in. And then just taking that nice inhale with the arms all the way up. And the exhale, hands to the heart. Just feel your body, feel your breath. Noticing any sensations. Noticing any space. Good. From here, we're just going to lower the hips and come into a seat with the legs straight out in front. And just take a second to adjust as you kind of come into this place. And just feel your sits bones against the floor. Feel the length of the spine. And just notice any difference. Notice the adjustments that your body has to make when coming from that standing position into a seat once again. And just take a second to really feel where you are. Allowing yourself to be right here. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring the hands behind us to support the torso a little bit, and then bring the right leg all the way up. Now there are options here. You can keep that right foot on the inside of your left leg, or maybe it crosses up and over. Either one is totally fine. And then start to find that length of the left leg from the sits bone all the way toward the heel. Making sure not to necessarily straighten the leg, but just finding that length and allowing yourself to breathe. And using the hands, support the torso as you come all the way up onto those sits bones, maybe even lifting the hips up off the floor a little bit. Allowing your spine to really find some space. And then slowly lowering those sits bones back onto the floor, but trying to keep that length through the spine. And there's some options here too. You can turn away from the leg. That's an option. Or if you stay with me, bring that opposite arm toward the knee, maybe even the elbow. Wherever you are, just use that hand to really support the leg, keeping that torso nice and long, and the other arm is going to start to follow the horizon, starting in front and going all the way along the side, coming into that twist. And eventually the palm comes down to the floor, or maybe onto the block. But using that hand to really help keep that length through the spine and allowing that breath to happen. And this is one of those poses that if you move in and out of the twist with your breath, that's totally fine. Maybe allowing it to release a little bit with the inhale, and then really flowing into the deeper twist with the exhale. Sometimes allowing that space lets us get a little bit deeper into a pose. So really feeling whatever you're creating in your body. One more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly starting to unwind, starting with the top of the head, the shoulders, maybe coming into a little twist the other way to release the right side of the body. Stretching that left leg out, maybe giving the legs a little bit of a shake. And then just coming to whatever your neutral position is. And just feeling your body, feeling your breath. Maybe noticing a difference in sensation from one side of your body to the other. And then whenever you're ready, we're just going to come into that same pose on the other side. So leaning back, bringing that left leg up and over. And be sure to do the same thing on this side that you did on the other side. So maybe keeping that left leg on the inside of the front of the right leg, or maybe crossing it up and over. Feeling that length from the sits bone all the way through the right leg as you find that flex in the foot. Finding the breath, and then using the hands against the floor to find that space along the spine and really feeling that length from the floor all the way to the top of the head. And then slowly letting the sits bones press into the floor once again, but trying to really keep that length in the spine as the right arm, if you are doing the crossed version, comes all the way around that left leg. And the other arm reaches to the front along the horizon and then find its place behind you somewhere. Maybe under the floor, maybe onto a block. And just feel your body, feel your breath. Continue to reach out that right leg, finding that energy. And allow those small movements that happen with the breath. Allowing your body to find whatever space it's creating. Maybe one more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly starting to unwind, starting with the top of the head, the shoulders, the ribs, and maybe finding a twist the other direction. And then releasing that left leg, maybe giving both legs a little bit of a shake. And finding your neutral seated position and just feeling your body, feeling your breath. Noticing any sensations, any space. And from here, we're ready for Shavasana. So go ahead and take whatever pose you feel comfortable in. One that I suggest is maybe having your legs up on the wall, or if you happen to have a chair, you can definitely put your feet up onto the chair. But just finding a place where your body can be fully supported. So whether that's with the legs up the wall, or in a chair, or maybe feet on a bed. And the hands can be maybe on the hips, maybe the belly, or maybe kind of finding that sort of goddessy shape, opening the shoulders. And just allow yourself to sort of settle into wherever you are. And definitely if at some point during Shavasana you start to get a little bit uncomfortable, definitely move. Make those changes. Give yourself that permission to change what you need to when you need to. But as you start to settle in, start to feel your breath. And allow it to become soft. Maybe noticing all of the places where you're in contact with the floor. And allow yourself to sink a little bit deeper into each of those places. Feeling the support of the floor beneath you. And that support is what allows you to sink deeper. And starting to find that relaxation, starting with the soles of your feet. Feeling a release into the ankles, into the calves and the shins. And letting all of that energy flow to wherever you're in contact with the earth, which might mean that it's actually flowing up into your hips and into the floor behind you, if your legs are on the wall. Feel that release continue through the knees and into the quads, wrapping around the legs and into the hamstrings, flowing up into the glutes and up into the lower back, flowing around the sides of the body and into the belly. With every exhale, feeling the belly release and get a little bit closer to the earth. Let all of that energy flow through the body and find its escape wherever you're in contact with the earth. Allowing your body to be fully supported. Continue to find that release along the spine, up in between the shoulder blades, into the shoulders, wrapping around the tops of the shoulders and into the chest, and down into the ribs. Letting all of that energy flow through the body and find its escape into the earth. Allowing your body to be fully supported. Continue to feel that release from the spine into the shoulders and out into the upper arms, through the elbows and into the forearms. Let that feeling flow along the backs of the hands and wrap around every single finger, into the palm of the hand and into the front of the wrist. Letting all of that energy flow through the body and find its escape into the earth. Feeling that release and allowing your body to be fully supported and really sinking into that support. Continue to find that release from the shoulders into the back of the neck. Starting to wrap around the back of the head, all the way until it finds the forehead. Feeling that release into the temples, letting it wrap around the ears and into the cheeks, down into the jaw, and into the front of the neck. Letting all of that energy flow through the body and find its escape into the earth. Allowing your head to be fully supported and really sinking into that support. Slowly allowing the whole body to really relax. Feeling all of the places where that support is there. And really allowing yourself to release and sink into that support. Slowly bring your awareness back to your body, back to your breath. Notice all of those places that you're still in contact with the earth. And this time, allow the energy from the earth to start to flow into your body, starting to fill you back up. And as it starts to fill you and become more overflowing, let that energy instead turn into movement. It's starting to wake up the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles, knees and elbows into the hips, maybe even wiggling the spine and the neck. If it feels good for you, you can bring the knees into the belly and maybe even roll onto one side, finding wherever a comfortable midpoint place is for you and your body. And just pausing for a moment to once again feel the breath. And notice how having gravity maybe in a slightly different position has an effect on the body. And then when you're ready, slowly starting to make your way back up to a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you. And once again, feeling where you are in this moment. Feeling that grounding energy maybe through the sits bones. Feeling the length in the spine. And feeling the breath. And maybe bringing the attention to the mind. Noticing if there's a little bit more space, a little bit more calm. And just take a minute to remind yourself that this calm is always within you. It's just a matter of finding it, allowing yourself some space. So at any point in your crazy day, your crazy week, you can always close your eyes, take a few breaths, and bring yourself right back to this place. This space of awareness and of calm. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Together we'll say, Namaste.